Zoe Kravitz, do you have to be good at everything? Can you leave a little beauty and talent for the rest of us normies? Anyway, cue the music. Hello, you beautiful nerds. So, Catwoman made a movie. That's right, the daughter of Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz has made her directorial debut, and I really want to talk about it. Now, this will be a spoiler review, so spoiler warning. This is your spoiler warning. I would also say, if you haven't seen the trailer, don't. The trailer gives everything away. It gives pretty much the whole movie away. But what even happens in this movie? Well, it follows Frida, who is a cater waiter with her best friend Jess. After sneaking into a fancy rich people party, they actually end up making friends with the richest people at the party, namely the man of the hour, Slater King.
Just Slater.
Oh, and Christian Slater is in this movie, which is that's kind of weird. Anyway, they get invited along with some other young, beautiful women to an island that Slater owns for a spontaneous vacay full of drinks, drugs, and gourmet food. Sounds like a good time, right?
You having a good time?
We're having a great time.
But after a while, everything seems a little too good to be true as Aaliyah Shawkat's character starts to feel that there's something strange going on.
So do you think the human sacrifice is before or after dinner?
Let's talk about the characters for a bit because this is an impressive cast. And I must start with Cody, played by Simon Rex. He plays Slater's best friend, and he's also his personal chef, so he's making gourmet meals the whole time. He doesn't really play that big of a role in the movie plot-wise, but I have to express my delight in seeing him in this film because homeboy has had a weird career. He was a VJ on MTV, and he was having a pretty successful career as a sitcom actor. Then it came out that he did porn early on in his career, and he pretty much got blackballed from the industry. Then he pivoted for a while and decided to become the worst, best rapper in the entire world. And if you don't believe me, may I present Exhibit A.
I walked in, stoned as hell. White lines, gold gazelles. Hotel on Sunset. Young hoes get undressed.
Anyways, it was good to see him in a real movie, and his performance was solid. He was actually really good. The male friends in the cast seem to all be in this category of darling male leads of yesteryear. Like Christian Slater, Kyle MacLachlan, and Haley Joel Osment being in the movie just makes it all feel inherently surreal. I don't think that the casting of the actors is necessarily trying to say anything, but it does effectively give off a sense of joviality, as your initial reaction when you see one of these characters is, oh hey, I love that guy. But though all these guys are very good in this movie, aside from Channing Tatum, the male characters are just fun set dressing. The real stars of this flick are the women. Aaliyah Shawkat is fantastic. She's always great. I don't know why she's not in more shit. Does Hollywood think she's black?
Ha! Got him.
Adria Arjona is sensational in this film. She actually outacts the main character in this movie, in my opinion. And that is no slight to Naomi Ackie at all. But Adria made me crack up so much in this movie just from her character being such an asshole.
This is Frida, Sarah Frida.
Cute nails. Thank you.
I remember seeing her in the Belkin Experiment a few years back, and I'm glad to see that she's been popping up in some roles where she can really stretch her acting muscles. Going back to Naomi Ackie, wow, she was amazing. The only thing that I saw her in before this was that god-awful Whitney Houston movie, but I was happy to see that she is actually a very, very good actor. It was just the movie that was dog shit, because she was so damn good in this movie. She has such a palpable chemistry with every person that she interacts with in this movie, whether it be with Adria or Aaliyah Shawkat or even Slater King.
Just Slater.
She bounces off of every character very well, and I think it's no small testament to her performance, but also Zoe Kravitz being able to get so much out of her actors and being able to cultivate an environment on set where everything just feels very natural, and that camaraderie among the cast members really comes out on screen. However, neither of these are my MVP. Now, this is gonna sound weird, but my favorite performance in this movie actually came from Liz Carabell as Camilla. This woman was amazing. Where did she come from?
I leave with so much love.
but I'm quick to fuck a motherfucker up.
She was awesome in every single scene. Like, she pretty much stole every scene that she was in. Like, you're just so totally focused on her, even with all these superstar actors around. She was just so incredibly believable in every scene. And she wasn't just the comedic relief. The movie actually even gives her a few moments where she can really delve into the tragic nature of what's happening on this island. She was so good, it was so funny, and I was genuinely upset when her and Homegirl died. Like, it really tore me apart when that happened in the movie. Again, everyone in this cast did great. Even creepy snake lady was awesome. But Camilla is the quiet MVP of this movie. This movie is unspeakably brutal. Like, I literally don't want to speak about how awful things get at some point. But I will say that the film is balanced very, very well, because the most gut-wrenching moment is just as effective as the fun and satisfying moments. It hasn't really been since Get Out that I've seen a movie that so skillfully balances that beam of hilarious and horrifying. There's a lot of ways to tell a story, and I think that this film works way better with this kind of tone, rather than something ultra serious like a Robert Eggers film or Don't Worry Darling or some such shit. The comedic moments in this movie are so relatable and so hysterical, and they kind of have to be, because I mean, Jesus H. Jones, what happens in this movie? It is upsetting, to say the least. So I guess we have to talk about the twist. Or maybe, do I have to? This is kind of messed up. I don't want to feel bad for the rest of the day. So, I did write the script. I'm going to need some more of this if we're going to do this. Okay, I guess it's time. Okay, so Naomi's character discovers that she has been here on Slater King's Island.
Just Slater.
Slater mentions early in the film that he undergoes a very unique kind of therapy that helps him repress traumatizing memories. His argument is that forgetting is a defense mechanism for the brain that helps us adjust. So forgetting those things is, to him, the healthiest thing that you could do. He clearly believes that the only way to forgive someone who has hurt you is to forget. And let's put a pin in that for right now. Fast forward to the top of the third act. Naomi discovers that the men here have a special fragrance they give the women that clouds their memory. Specifically, it makes them forget traumatic episodes. So of course, what's a sadistic man to do? You know, except for commit the most atrocious acts that you could inflict on another human being. Because apparently the more traumatic the experience, the more effective the drug is. Like, it's literally blocking out trauma. One of the best scenes is actually at the very end of the movie.
So, everybody's dead.
Tatum has a monologue about forgiveness and how forgetting your trauma is the only true way to deal with it. And that holding on to those memories is what makes us, in his words, fucked up. It's a tragically simple way of looking at your emotional pain. And it's to be expected from a guy like Slater, who routinely uses his power and influence to make his problems go away. It's also implied that he's not the greatest guy and he's been in trouble before.
Let's get to the question that everybody is dying for you to answer.
They don't really say what it is that he did, but he does have a public apology at the beginning of the film. And he announces that he's about to sequester himself to a desert island. He mentions this again at the end, and he says that no matter how many times he apologizes, he still won't be forgiven. And I can see this both ways. Like, there is some truth to what he's saying. There are definitely people out there who, once they hear that their favorite celebrity or celebrity that they admire has done something heinous, they are totally out on them. They just can't enjoy their art or their work or what have you. But there are other people who, never believed or cared about the allegations. Like, there are plenty of people listening to R. Kelly right damn now. Somebody is stepping in the name of love at this very moment. I know it. Two, there are people who actually forgive someone's bad behavior who's in the spotlight. And that brings me to the unfortunate resonance of this film. With everything that's going on with the Sean Combs allegations, it is easy to draw parallels between the men in this film and the men Diddy is alleged to be associated with when it comes to this vile behavior. Now, Zoe Kravitz has mentioned in interviews that this film is not about a single individual. And the crazy thing is that in that interview, she was actually being asked about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. But she said that she was halfway done writing the script when all that stuff came out. As fucked up as it is, there are a lot of real life situations that draw parallels to the abhorrent acts in this film, which is one of the reasons why I'm surprised by the reaction to this film overall. I've heard some critics whose opinions I really respect be very flippant about this movie as if it were anyone but you or some such shit. And I don't understand the apathy behind the release of this movie. I don't know how you walk out of this flick with blasé feelings about it, good or bad. And the box office seems to reflect that same apathy that I've just been hearing from critics. I've heard people compare this movie to Don't Worry Darling, and I'm like, that dull-ass movie? That movie had zero fun. I had no fun with that movie. Even the stuff that I liked about that movie wasn't having fun. And this movie, despite its horrific nature, is so much fucking fun. And it manages to walk that line that works so well when you mix the genres of comedy and horror together. Like they just meld together like
they went together like lamb and tuna fish.
I was floored by this movie. I know I already compared it to this film, but this very much had Get Out vibes for me. Not just because it's a first-time director doing a horror-esque thrillery genre film with black people. I've seen this movie twice now, and I definitely feel like it was better the second time around. This is one of those films that does so much groundwork plot-wise, micro and macro, that upon multiple viewings, you will definitely discover little things that you missed and will make you love the movie even more. Zoe Kravitz has really impressed me with this one, and I can't wait to see what she does next, because she has already solidified herself as one of the exciting new voices in filmmaking. She's also a black lady, and that's pretty fucking cool too. My ranking, I loved it. Okay, that's it for this review. Are you having a good time?
We're having a great time.
If so, you should like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updates on new videos and you don't miss out on any of this sweet, juicy content. And consider perusing through our merch store where we have hats, hoodies, shirts, mugs, and a bunch of other stupid shit with our stupid name on it. But until next time, stay safe, my little cater waiters, and may the force be with you.